am so excited to still be around here today, celebrating our 30th anniversary here at WATC TV, Channel 57. We are so excited to be having this fun reunion. So today is the first time I've had the privilege of being here on this particular set. Usually we're over there on the Atlanta Live set. There's the Christian View set here. This is behind the scenes for you guys. And not only that, but I'm grabbing some people that are here for the reunion to tell us a little bit about their stories and when they started and why this is such a family to them as well. And I've got the beautiful Pat here. Pat, I'm so glad you're on with me today.
Thank you, thank you. I've been here 30 years, you know.
That's what they told me.
Yes, we started here when we had nothing hardly here at all.
When you say nothing, like was this like an empty warehouse?
Oh yes, it
was.
It was an empty warehouse. And then of course we built it all out and had all equipment was used from somebody else somewhere.
Oh gosh.
And of course we started first out in Woodstock, you know, for a while.
But you weren't there for very long, though, right?
No,
you came right here.
Probably 6 months.
Okay.
And then we moved over here into this big building, which was fantastic for us to have and to really build it up, you know. And it's been fantastic, really. God has really blessed us to be here for 30 years.
No kidding.
Blessed
That's
us.
long for anybody for 30 years. That's crazy.
Definitely.
Now, how did you come upon WATC 30 years ago?
Well, Jimmy and Joanne Thompson, Jimmy Thompson had gotten the license for this place, and so Jimmy and Joanne told us that they were going to start a TV station here.
There's
in
a dream.
Atlanta. Cool? And so as soon as they got it together, they called Greg West to me and John Broomall, and we all worked together to get this started. And of course their son Vincent was helping also. Here to do some work.
So it started out as a family, and it's still a family.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
So it's built up, which we've got so many people here. We started out with like, what, 3 people in the very beginning, and now look at what we have now. And God's blessed us. I mean, it's just been amazing. We've got a great crew here on the floor.
We really do.
And it's just amazing, really.
And you were saying you work, what is your job now? But you said you also did on-the-air shows back then. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, I started out as the office manager here, and so worked into that capacity. And then Jimmy and Joanne passed away, and before they passed away, Joanne had asked me and Greg West to take over the station, and so that's what we've done from then on. But Betty Cornett was the prayer partner coordinator here. She started in the very beginning also to be the prayer. She got all the people here to do the prayers, and to pray with people. So we started doing a program together. We just happened upon it, actually.
I love it.
We did one program, and then everybody loved it, so we decided to do it every Thursday night.
What was it?
We did that for 20 years.
What show?
It was called Seniors Today.
Seniors Today. And you said you stopped in 2020. Was that the pandemic?
2020, yes. Right as the pandemic was starting, actually. We stopped in January.
Any hope bringing it back now? Pandemic's over. Time to move on. Let's go.
I know, that's what they tell me a lot.
There
they
you
say
go.
you really should do the program again.
I agree.
So you never know.
You don't ever
know. Know what God's going to have you to do.
But you know, I think it's so cool that you're telling me that they had a dream 30 years ago.
They did.
It's like one of those moments you see in those old-time musicals, like, let's put on a show. Yeah, let's put on a show. And they do.
Yeah.
And then God blesses it.
Yes.
And then here we are 30 years later, and it's lasted. So I really want to encourage people that are watching this. Yes, we're having this great reunion. This is wonderful, and all the viewers are part of this. But you might have a dream, and I'm sure people that are watching have a dream. Take that bravery step and say, why not?
Well, you wait for God to open that door. You know, you don't ever know what's going to happen on the other side.
Right.
But you got to walk through it, and you got to do it. And because if you don't do it, God's going to push you some way. You're going to get there somehow. So that's what happened with me. Of course, I knew Jimmy and Joanne Thompson years ago. I worked for Dr. Jerry Goff in Nashville, Tennessee, in the music industry. And so he used to do telethons for them. And that's how I got to know Jimmy and Joanne Thompson. So when they decided they were going to have a TV station here, of course, I worked for her a little bit, maybe a year in Greenville.
And the sister station.
In Greenville, WGGS. So after they knew that they were going to be here, they wanted us to work and try to get this started. And, you know, when I had a great job, And it was really hard to leave that job, but God was opening this door, and He wanted me to go through that.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and it's been a blessing, really. It's been wonderful.
And, you know, what was the worst thing that could have happened? People are a lot of times ask me, like, well, how do you know God's opening that door? What if it's the wrong door? What if that's not the right door? You have to take that step of faith and walk through it. If it's not the right one, He'll let you know.
That's right.
But you're going through it for a reason.
He'll open another.
He will, or a window, or a barn door, or something. Absolutely. But I love the scripture, Proverbs 16:3. Give your works wholly to the Lord, and He will bless and prosper them. And the key word there is
direct your path.
Direct your path. But you have to work. You got to go do something. You can't just sit on the couch and say, "Oh, Lord, just help me."
Right.
So in this closing time we have, I'd love to talk to you some more. The history here is so rich.
It is. Really.
I've only been here 10 years. Y'all have been here a lot longer.
Yes.
Give us some words of hope, where you see the future now for WATC and this amazing family.
Well, I think that the hope here is to continue with our young people that's here.
Yes.
Because we started out with a lot of older people, and some of them are still here. But we have a lot of young people here now that is taking over and doing a great job.
Yeah.
And I think that's the future. That's the future for us here, is with these young people. And they're doing such a great job. God's blessing them, too, to continue this.
And I love seeing that with the young people because, you know, you think, oh, all the young people, all they care about is social media, and it's not true. We've had several of the young people come through here to the reunion, and we're introducing them to the studio, and they want to be a part of this.
Yes.
They see this family, and you don't get that on social media.
Right.
You get there's a lot of good things on there, of course. I watch all the animal videos,
Yes.
but there's a lot of fake things out there, and it's hard to tell what's real and what's fake on social media.
I know.
But here, you can come into the studio and see the realness and feel the Holy Spirit
You do.
and get good friends. So give us your last words of hope as we close out.
Well, I just think it's great for us to continue to do what we do here because it blesses a lot of people. And you never know who you are blessing out there, really.
For sure.
Because if you're on TV and you're doing what you're supposed to do, what God's led you to do, then I think that's going to bless a lot of people. And I think they see a lot of things through you, through who is here and who is on television. They see their heart. And I think that will bless a lot of people. Really do.
Don't think I know, for sure. I'm so glad you were here with us, and I'm so glad to know you've been here all this time, because I've seen you so many times before, and it takes a reunion to find out everybody's rich history and how they started, and this place used to be a warehouse. We'd come in, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, or the new people now, and we don't realize how far it goes back, and that it's in Greenville, it's in other places, and I just, again, learned from Greg, our president, today, that this is aired in prisons, and it's aired in places you would never even think of. So that story of hope, that gospel goes everywhere.
And I'm not here daily anymore, but sort of semi-retired, but I do come back. And
come back and do that show. I see a show in your future. All right, well, I've got to bring on some other people here that also have a history. Pat, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you so much.
Such a blessing, such a blessing. All right. Well, now I'm going to bring on somebody else that has a history as well. But first, we're going to go to Dorothy Russell in Spalding, or Dorothy Russell Spalding, whichever.
Hey, Atlanta Live, we're here 30 years. We want you to come down and celebrate with us, and I want to encourage you to do that. We've been 30 years of Christian television, Dorothy.
Right here in Atlanta.
Yes.
Isn't that wonderful? And the thing is, you need to be a part. And tonight you can watch, you and I will be hosting tonight.
Yes, Russell and Dorothy, we're out of Augusta, Georgia.
We'll be hosting from 7 to 8 tonight, so make sure you watch, because you're going to find out some things that are just kind of fun. And then we have an interview with a wonderful pastor. And then we're going to talk about how we walked around America
With a wooden cross.
for 8 years with no money.
No paycheck on Friday, no credit cards, believing God.
No bank account.
Yes.
Believing God. And you can do that too. So we're going to encourage you tonight to, step it up. We're living in kind of little rough times right now, but we can live above those times. We know.
Right.
We didn't have any money for 8 years, trusting God. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk about, how you can walk by faith.
Yes.
And you can be a partner with this station, because they need your partnership.
That's right, because the fields are ripe unto harvest, because we're mandated by God's word that says, I'll make you fishers of men. So you can be a part of Fishing for Men by joining this network. It's been here for proven for 30 years.
30
it's
years.
going to continue to go on because the latter days we need to get the harvest of souls, the sacrifice and the blood of Jesus on the people's lives. And we want to encourage you to partner with this 57. I'm telling you what, you'll have a great rewards when you stand before the Lord, and He'll say, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant."
Enter in.
Yes.
But what, Russ?
Hey, and plan to pray in your heart how much to be a partner with us here at Atlanta Live.
See you tonight.
Oh, it was awesome. Thank you so much, so much. Well, now I've been able to gather over here into this very special seat. Somebody else that's been here since the very beginning. There's a lot of people still here from the very beginning, which makes this reunion that much more special. Because don't you love to tap into the history of places that you work at, places that are special to you, even your church, how it got started. So right now I have here with me somebody very special. John Brewball has been here since day one?
Day one.
Day one.
Before day one.
Day zero?
Day zero.
000.
Minus zero.
Minus zero. Well, tell us about that. What was this all your idea?
Well, I got interested in broadcasting as a teenager, and we're celebrating 30th anniversary. I was an intern back in '58 when WETV, which is now WABA, signed on its channel 30. So 30 has been a significance to me.
Oh, that's cool.
And that I then got involved in another career there. I was just an intern. But then back in the 80s, one of my hobbies was like amateur radio, where you receive distant radio and TV stations based upon atmospheric conditions. And I live in Canton. I picked up a station from Opelika, Alabama, which is a TBN station.
Okay.
And, I mean, I've been a Christian since I was 6. My father was a pastor. And, in fact, John Owen Broomall, I was named after the Puritan theologian John Owen. So, wow, you mean there is such a thing as Christian television? And I then was involved in starting a couple of stations. That did not continue, and then I somehow was introduced to Jimmy Thompson, and I just completed a 30-minute podcast, which is going to air and talk all about this. And I urge people here to watch that when they come out. But,
they will.
So there was another organization that had a permit from the FCC, and Jimmy was second in line to get it, and they were not able to to go ahead to finance the station there. So I was kind of a spy, and I contacted them, and I said, "What are you going to do with us?" "Oh, we can't build it, and we spent $75,000. I said, "Hey, if somebody is going to give you the $75,000, would you turn over and let them have the permit?" And they said yes.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I didn't lie to them. I was a spy there.
You a little spy?
Yeah.
We're all here because you were a spy.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I then, in the construction phase, I have been on the roof of the Sun Truist building, the Sun Trust there, because in broadcasting, you want to have as high up as possible.
You need that airspace up there to get it out.
So that, but with my background as strong commitment to Christianity and the opportunity to technology. Technology is a tool, and that back then, before the internet and social media, it was called mass media. Well, you know, newspapers come out once a day, and magazines not that often.
Yeah.
But with radio and television, you can get out the message 24 hours a day.
Yeah, you can.
And if you have sub-channels, you can get out the message 72 hours a day.
Forever. Oh my God. What did you do when you first started here? When you were the spy, you got the $75,000. It started. What was your first job?
My first job was getting the station out there, finding a place where to put it, to get an engineer and go up on top of Sweat Mountain there to install the equipment. So it was, I guess I would be considered as the coordinator, or I was the one who connected the dots, is what was involved.
And you got it from Woodstock to over here, right? Because it started in Woodstock.
Right, yes. The story, and the reason it was in Woodstock is you connect signals by microwave, and from Woodstock, the antenna is on the top of Sweat Mountain there. So from Woodstock, you can aim this dish
Really?
to the top of the mountain. So that was the first place. It had previously been like a Chinese restaurant there. And that we had, it was not 24 hours a day at the very beginning in terms of live there. And that we kept getting calls into the police department from the alarm system. It turned out there were some rats running around. That's not very theological.
I love that. Little rats getting into it. And now, do we have them up on, you say Sweat Mountain, is there on Stone Mountain as well?
No. It's only one place.
One place. Okay.
In one place.
Okay.
And in broadcasting, you want to be as high up
as you can get, for sure.
Be.
And then what did you do over the years? How long were you actively working here, and what did you do all throughout
Well,
those years?
it was from the very beginning, as we got on the air, that one of the first big things was the Olympics came to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And that we were still in Woodstock back then. You could not use the term Olympics because of copyright and all like that. So the program that we had that was to the audience of the local people and whoever might be visiting was More Than Gold, is what we called it.
That's how you got away with it.
And then we have, after the Olympics was the Special Olympics, and that one person we had as a guest was Johnny Erickson Tata. Now, do you know who she was?
It sounds so familiar. I'm drawing a blank.
She, at 16, she had a swimming accident, and that she is a quadriplegic.
Oh, you mean Johnny?
Johnny.
Yeah, I know Johnny. Yes. Okay, I'm thinking Olympics. Okay.
She was
Love her.
She was the first.
She broke her neck.
She was the first famous guest that we had on the.
She's still going strong.
So yeah, I think she's dealt with cancer.
Oh wow.
There. But I think it's certainly exciting there that.
What's one of the best memories you've had?
Well,
you've had a lot of good ones. Does anything stick out? Something really memorable to share with us? Maybe you didn't share on the podcast. You can share with me.
Well,
I won't tell anybody.
One thing that's not specific, just to hear, but there was somebody that I talked with that, and I asked them about the importance of the station, and they said, well, there was somebody that watched the station. They were an atheist, and that the Lord used the station, and they said that when I get to heaven, that this person is going to come up to me and say, thank you for getting this station started, because if you had not been involved and I had not watched this station, I'd be in hell rather than heaven. So I guess that's my best story.
That's awesome. It's a great story. Such a good story. I was just talking to the President Greg a little while ago and said, I'd love for you to get on the air people that have stumbled across the station and now either are Christian because of it or it got them through something really traumatic or hard, because those are the greatest testimonies to show you really, you've got the pulse out there and you're really doing, but we know we are, and we know. I love that song, Thank You for Giving to the Lord. I'm a Life That You've Saved. Just reminds me of that when we get up there. All the lives that every one of us will have touched that we didn't even know we touched is going to be so amazing.
People have presentations about the Gideon Bible. I was in a motel and opened up and saw a Gideon Bible. Well, that same story could be that somebody was considering suicide, for instance, and hey, turn on and just as a coincidence, God incidence, not coincidence.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a God incidence, and that they, before they committed suicide, they tuned in and they watched TV 57,
Yeah,
and it led them to the Lord.
that'd be amazing. So we know that happens every day.
So there's not just one story, and it's so wonderful that the, church, few times a week, few hours a week at most, but here it is, reaching people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, multiple channels, multiple means.
Yeah.
The devil really is good at using technology.
Yeah, we have to be just as good and better. And I love that Greg was telling me earlier, too, that we go into where the shut-ins are or people that don't have social media, because you can get things on social media, but you can't get what we give them on the television. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your stories, telling me that you were a spy. I just love these little insights, secrets.
Thank you. It's wonderful. And you're a good interviewer.
Thank you so much. You're a great guest. You make my job easy. Thank you again. And here's to 30 more years. How's
God bless
that?
you.
All right, we'll come back for the 50th.
Okay.
And yay! And now we're going to go to Sarah Hurd Williams and Robert Lee Williams. Take it away.
Thank you, Aria, for such a powerful interview. Well, we're here at WATC TV 57 celebrating 30 years of powerful and exciting broadcasting ministry. I like to call it ministry. I am Sarah Hurd from Time in the Word with Sarah Hurd.
And I am Robert Williams with Time in the Word with Sarah Hurd, and also as pastor of the Straight Life Church of God Pentecostal Incorporated.
Well, it has just been an exciting week and an exciting month as we have celebrated 30 years. And when I look back and think about those 30 years, I have had the opportunity, along with my first husband, who was Bobby Hurd, and it was called The Bobby Hurd Show, which aired in 1998. So the Hurd name has been here 28 years. It has always been a place of information, inspiration, and great gospel music. Now, WATC is the type of television station where you will always hear the word, where you will hear powerful sermons, powerful testimonies, powerful singing, all giving glory to God. And we must salute Mr. Greg West and his team for a powerful 30 years. It's just been amazing.
It is certainly amazing, and you use the word far-reaching in so many words, far-reaching. I remember talking with my dad and introducing you to my dad, and I was amazed that Dad also viewed WATC TV 57 like we did, and I did not know that he watched the show, and he remembered your face. He didn't know you, he had not met you, but once I introduced you, he remembered your face from the show. So you never know who you're reaching, who you are impacting with the service that you render here at this station on a weekly, daily basis. And I just want to say congratulations and thank you for a job well done.
It has just been amazing to be here this long. It has truly been amazing. And as I am in the marketplace, I run into so many people who are saying, we watch you, we see you on TV 57. And you know, you had the experience of a young man in one of the stores asking you, were you my husband? Because he viewed Channel 57. So if you're on Channel 57, it goes everywhere. And you have so many wonderful people watching you. It has just been amazing. It has been great. My experience here, I don't know. You know, in life, we never know what God's plan is. And this I never knew. But I tell you, I am excited and so grateful to be walking in His plan and in His purpose in this season. WATC has made it possible for so many seniors, so many homebound people, so many people in the hospital to be refreshed and to hear a word and to hear a song and be inspired by so many people that we have here. So many shows here. You can wake up at any time and catch a gospel show on TV 57. So 30 years, wow. It doesn't seem like 30 years, although I haven't been here the whole 30 years, but it doesn't seem like it's been that long. And it's because the show is great. The television station produces great shows, great gospel shows. And you know what? I can't wait to see what God is going to do in the next 30 years. It's just been amazing.
And you know, people have connected our journey.
Mm-hmm.
The William Hurd Williams show, a show of marital bliss. People have connected that with WATC TV. And like you said, I met the guy at Walmart and just shopping, and he remembered me from being with you on the show. So it is a blessing to be out there to give inspiration and to give the great gospel music that you give on a regular basis. And it's so uplifting to know that you can be an uplift to somebody.
Yes.
Early in the morning, late at night, whatever it is the case may be, the show is so uplifting that it's refreshing just to know you're blessing people through this ministry.
And I tell you, this show have great workers. Those that are employed here are wonderful. I will never forget the part-time retired person, Miss Pat Mathis. And shout goes out to you today, along with Mr. Greg West. You have made this an amazing platform for the gospel of Jesus Christ to be demonstrated and preached and received. So we say today, thank you for giving your all to WATC TV 57. Thank you for what you have done to make this show the place, the show everyone wants to be on.